Hi, this is Desiree Penton from Dragon Yoga Studio. We are at 4516 Northwestern Avenue in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We are Oklahoma City's first pay what you can yoga studio. We were founded to bring yoga to everyone. We are here to bring this practice and these tools to anyone and everyone who is interested without having to worry about the cost. Thank you for joining us for tonight's class. This is a ghost class. I'm going to start that again. This is an Alignment 1 class. This class is the next step beyond our Dragon class, which is our postures class, which breaks down postures that we use in our other classes so that you feel more comfortable. We take the basic postures you learned in the Dragon and we show you how they can evolve in different shapes. This class moves at a slower pace than a flow class, but you won't hold the class as near as long as a postures class. As you begin to flow through the postures, you'll find more ease and movement, more awareness of your body, and a connection to your breath that brings strength and grace to your practice. Thank you so much for being here tonight. If you will, come to a seated position on your mat, pulling the flesh out from underneath your sit bones, stacking your shoulders over your hips, and growing tall. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs, relax the back of your throat. As you close your eyes, start to tap into your breath, connecting to your mat. Take a big full inhale in and a big exhale out. Take a big full deep belly breath in and a big exhale out. Slowly inhale in for 3, 2, 1, pausing at the top. And then exhale for 3, 2, 1, pausing at the bottom. Filling up all 4 sides of your ribs and all 4 sides of your lungs. 3, 2, 1, pause at the top. Sipping in a little bit more, and then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhaling in for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pausing at the top. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting it all out. Super strong inhale in. Strong exhale out. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up. And then exhale, hands together at heart center. Closing your eyes and taking a moment to set an intention for your practice. Something you personally want to work on. Maybe it's something that you want to sweat out. Setting an intention for your practice. Taking a moment to have a purpose for your class tonight, or maybe it's something you want to sweat out and leave on your mat. And then tucking your chin, bowing within, honoring your intention and those in class with you. And then inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up. Interlacing your fingers, taking your palms to the ceiling. Grounding into your right hip, reach up and over to the left, keeping your chin off your chest, pulling that right hip down, puffing your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Coming back to center. Up and over to the other side, plugging your left hip down, reaching your hands up and over to the right side of the room. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Right hand's going to come behind you as a kickstand, and your left hand goes to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Making sure your pelvic bowl is tilting forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, twist. Pressing your left hand down, lifting your heart up higher. Exhale, twisting a little bit more. Coming back to center, crawling forward into a box, take your hands underneath your shoulders, curl your toes under and take your knees slightly back from your hip bones. Stacking your shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your heart forward, sit bones spread apart, spine gets long. Exhale, pull your belly in, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Good. Pushing your palms down, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, feel your collarbones expand away from one another. And then exhale, round spine up towards the ceiling. Dropping your belly one more time, pull your heart forward, look up, digging your feet down as your tailbone lengthens back. And then exhale, belly in, round spine, tuck chin, tuck tailbone. And then coming back to neutral. Raising your right arm up super high, following your gaze with your hand. Take your right hand behind your head. Right elbow is going to crunch into your left elbow crease for 3, 2, 1. And then reach that right arm up towards the ceiling and thread the needle, pressing your right shoulder into the mat, pulling it to the right side of the room. Getting that big stretch along the back of that shoulder. Reach your right arm back up, look up, stretch up, and then you're going to extend it forward and your left leg's coming behind you. Internally rotate your left thigh, kicking through your heel, pulling your belly in. And you're going to pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow to knee, crunch in for 3, 2, kick it out, 1. And then tap your neighbor on your right, kick your neighbor on the left, going out wide with your hand and your leg. And then come back to center. Right hand's going to reach around, grab it outside of your left foot. Kick your foot into your hands and look up over that back shoulder. Raise that left thigh up. Come back to center. And then take it to the mat. Left arm reaches up, look up, stretch up. Take your hand behind you. Oh, I fucked up. Okay, so I'm going to start up. So raise your left arm up, reach up, stretch up, and then thread it through. Pressing down, pulling to the left. Left arm reaches back up, reach up, stretch up. Taking your hand behind your head. It's out of order, but I got it. Elbow to elbow crease for 3, 2, 1. Reach it back up. And then take that left arm forward, right leg back. Inner thighs squeeze together, kick through your back heel, pull your belly in. Pulsing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow to knee, crunch in for 3, 2, 1. Taking it out wide, left hand to the left, right foot to the right. And then come back to center. Left hand's going to grab outside of right foot. Kick your foot into your hands, raise that right thigh up, and look over your left shoulder. Coming back to center, and then drop it down. Palms press into the mat. And you're going to slowly step back into plank pose. Shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles in one straight line. Pulling your heart forward. You're going to pull your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands, starting to heat up that body. And then lifting your hips high, coming into dog pose. Inhale up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, tilt your sit bones up high, chest towards your thighs. Exhale your heels back down to the ground, pressing your thigh bones down, lengthening your spine towards the front of your mat as your tailbone lengthens up towards the ceiling. pressing into all 5 fingers. Your first finger faces 12 o'clock. Your wrist creases are parallel to the front edge of your mat. Coming up on your tiptoes, bend your knees. Take 10 nice, long, slow, easy steps to the front of your mat. As you get closer to the front of your mat, your shoulders are going to shift towards the front of your mat, making it a little harder. And just keep tiptoeing in, using that core to get you to forward fold. Inhale, flat back, pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine towards Western Avenue. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Feeling the length from your hips to your armpits out the crown of your head. Exhale, fold forward. Hips are over heels. Inhale, flat back, lengthening your spine. Hands to your hips, elbows up, squeezing your elbows up towards the ceiling. Press down and lift up. Stacking your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Grabbing opposite elbows, bump to the right, reach up and over to the left. Shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles square to the front of your sticky mat. Your chin is off your chest, shoulders squeeze together, collarbones pull away from one another. Feel your muscles pull up as your bones dig down. Bump and reach a little bit more. Inhale, back to center. Bump over to the left, reach up and over to the right. Shoulders squeeze together, collarbones expand away. Bump and reach, puffing your ribcage up. Inhale, back to center. Take your hands behind you, taking your hands to your waistline, fingertips up your back. Push your butt cheek and tailbone down as you lift from your heart. Reach up and back, looking up towards the ceiling. Everyone looks amazing. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthening your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands come to your hips, elbows up. Arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Interlacing your fingers, release your index finger, press your palms together, feet come together, toes and ankles touching. Bump to the right, reach up and over to the left. Pumping those hips up super far, reaching up and over to the left. Bottom hand pulls, top arm up and over more. Puffing that rib cage up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back up. Interlace your fingers the opposite direction. Bump to the left, reach up and over to the right. Bump and reach even more. Chin is off your chest, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles square to the front of the room. Everyone looks amazing. Inhale, back to center. Take your hands out like goalposts. Squeeze your shoulders together. Feel the length from your hip bones through your armpits as you lift up and back bend towards the back of the room. Chest lifts high. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, pulling your heart forward. Get long. Exhale, fold forward. Palms pressed down, stepping back, plank pose, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles in one straight line. Belly pulls in. Find cobra in your chest. Shifting onto your tiptoes, lower down for 5, 4, 3, back up. Just making sure you're there. Lower down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pelvis drops, point your toes, claw the ground, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Shoulders squeeze together, collarbones are pulling away from one another, fingertips press down and you're pulling your chest forward. Lower down, shoulders elbow height, curl toes, raise knees, hover your belly an inch off the ground, high plank, downward facing dog. Big inhale in, big exhale out. Walking out that dog. Start to walk your feet in a little bit. Stack your shoulders over your wrist. Inhale up on your tiptoes. Bend your knees. Hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Heart pulls forward. Exhale, fold forward. Feet together, toes and ankles touching. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up. Palms together at the top and sit it down, Ukitasana, chair pose. Squeezing your shins together, thighs together, palms together. Chest is over hips, shin bones back. Sink it down even lower. Straightening through those arms, reach up. Drishti is up towards the ceiling. Sink it down even more. Get uncomfortable. And then roll all the way onto your backs, pulling your knees into your chest. You're going to take your legs straight up towards the ceiling, squeezing your thighs together, knees together, ankles together, interlacing your fingers. Take your pointer finger up towards the ceiling, pulsing up for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot drops an inch above the ground and pulse to the right for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out wide, last 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Great job. You got it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees into your chest. Give yourself a good little squeeze. Start to rock forward and back, coming to the front of your mat and forward fold. Feet together, toes and ankles touching. Sink it down. As you inhale, your arms up overhead. Sink it down, chair pose. Thighs together, knees together, shins together. Gaze is slightly up where the ceiling and the wall meet. Hands come to heart center. Plug into your right foot. Take your left heel into your glute. And then extend it back behind you. Inner thighs squeeze together, back toes spread apart. Your hands come to the tops of your right thigh, pressing your palms into your thigh, lengthening your heart towards western. Getting long in your spine. Really keep those shoulders level with your hips, taking your hands out in front of you. Dial down that left hip, squeezing your inner thighs together. Big step back, low lunge, hands frame your front foot. Wiggle your back foot back, spiking your back heel, making sure your right knee is directly over your heel. Back knee drops, shifting your hips back. Heel presses down, heart pulls forward, sit bones spread apart, and spine gets long. Dig that heel down. Keep your right glute pulling back and slightly up. And your heart lengthens forward, finding cobra in your chest. Bending into your right knee, take the hands to the tops of your thighs, press your palms down, push your hips forward, and lengthen your side bodies up as you feel your belly lift off your front thigh. Getting that big stretch on the front of your left leg, reach your arms up, stretch up, look up. Left hand's going to come down, coming onto your left fingertips. Roll your shoulders back as you extend through your collarbones. Look up at your right hand. Your top arm's going to reach around and grab the outside of your back foot, pulling your heel closer to you. Try really hard not to round your spine towards your front thigh and actually twist it up towards the ceiling, continuing that big cobra in your chest and really trying hard not to lock out that left elbow. Slowly release. Low lunge. Back knee comes up. Back heel spikes. Right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, look up. Spike that back heel so that your calf is engaged. And then you're going to twist to the right, taking your hands parallel to the mat. Extending through that back arm so your shoulders stack over your hip. Left arm up, right arm down. Reach up, look up, stretch up. Taking both arms up, coming back to Anjaneyasana, Crescent Lunge. And now you're going to shift into your right foot, raising your left leg up, coming into Virabhadrasana C. Reaching those arms forward, squeezing those inner thighs together. Left foot comes down, meets right. Sit it down, Ukitasana, chair pose. Get low, reaching that chest up high. Hands come to heart center, plugging into your left foot this time. Take your right knee into your butt. And then take it back, Warrior 3. Back toes spread apart, heel presses towards the back of the room. Taking your hands to the tops of your thighs, press your palms into your thigh and lengthen your spine towards the front of the room. Keep raising that back heel up. And then your arms reach forward, stretching through the side bodies. Big controlled step back, low lunge. Dropping your hands down, wiggle your right foot back, drop your right knee down. And then slowly start to shift your hips back, half split pose. Your heel presses down, your heart pulls forward. Sit bones are spreading apart so you can hollow out your groin so your chest gets closer to the front edge of your mat. Breathing into the back of that left leg as you stretch all along the back of it. Everyone's breathing super good. Bend your left knee, take your hands to the top of your thigh, press your thigh forward and lift your heart. Feeling the expansion in your chest cavity. And then arms up, reach up, stretch up. Right hand's going to come down. You're going to come onto those right fingertips as you roll your bicep forward. Left arm reaches up. Look up at your left thumb. Open up your heart towards the ceiling. And then top hand's going to grab your back foot. If you can grab the outer edge, that's even better as you pull the heel closer towards you. Squeezing your inner thighs together. Opening your chest up towards the ceiling. Releasing your back foot, coming back to low lunge. Back knee lifts, spine lengthens towards Western Avenue. And then reach up, look up, stretch up, Anjaneyasana. Left hip back, make sure that left knee isn't tracking towards midline. Spike your back heel, get big in your chest. And then you're going to twist to the left, taking your hands to a T. Make sure your shoulders stack over your hips, so your left arm is going to actually reach back towards the wall behind you. And then right arm up, left arm down, taking your left hand to your right hamstring, reaching up and back. Feeling that big stretch. Taking your left arm up, Anjaneyasana, reach up. Good, keep sinking into that front knee. Shifting forward, coming into Virabhadrasana 3. Lighting up that standing leg, pulling your heart towards the front of the room. Spread your back toes, get long in your spine. And then go back to chair. Feet together, toes and ankles to take your back foot to meet your front. Sit it down, Ukitasana, chair pose. Squeeze your thighs together, knees together, shins together. Inhale your arms up even more. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Plant your palms, shoot it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Pelvis drops. Point your toes, claw the ground. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Lifting that heart high, pushing your toes towards the back of the room. Lower your shoulders, elbow height, curl toes, raise knees, belly first, high plank pose. And then dog pose. Shifting your hips up, chest towards thighs. Big inhale, big exhale. Remembering to breathe throughout class. Whenever it gets difficult, just go back to your breath. Coming into a box, you're going to stack your shoulders over your wrist, knees slightly back from your hip bones. Pull your bell in. Curl your toes, raise your hips, walk them forward a little bit more. So make sure that your shoulders are actually pushing past your wrist as you inhale up on your tiptoes, bend your knees, and hop to the front of your mat. Butt up, feet forward. Come on, get it up there. Butt up, feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Feet together, toes and ankles touching, sit it down, Ukitasana, chair pose. Palms pressed together. Take your hands to heart center. Plugging into your right foot, take your left heel up towards your butt. And then slow, controlled shift into warrior 3. Back toes spread apart, spine lengthens forward, get long in your spine. Inhaling your arms up, reaching towards the front of the room. And then a big controlled step back, low lunge. Back heel spikes, left hip pulls forward as your right hip pulls back, finding a long spine so there are no rocks in your river. And then arms reach up, look up, stretch up. Hands come to heart center. Your left elbow this time is going to hook outside of your right thigh. So the tricep to thigh conversation is going to be one that you push and resist, pulling your heart forward. So your spine is lengthening on your inhale towards the front of the room as you exhale and twist and look over your right shoulder. Opening up your arms, twisting a little bit deeper into that. Squeeze the sticky mat so hard that your left arm lifts high and your right arm goes to your back thigh. Back thigh presses against your hand and you reach up and back even more. Both arms up, Crescent Lunge. Reach up, look up, stretch up. And then shifting forward, leaving your hands up. Coming into warrior 3. And then you're going to take your left hand down and your right hand up, coming into Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Using the fingertips to pull your chest forward, lengthening your spine, and make your back leg super strong. Drop your top hand to meet your right, lengthening your spine towards your right toes as you come into standing splits. And a big controlled step back, low lunge. Drop your back heel, windmill it around, Virabhadrasana B. Shoulders stack over hips, squaring up that front thigh and shin. Right butt cheek tucks under, left hip tucks in, extending through your arms, energy out through your fingertips. Squeezing the sticky mat with both feet. And then take your right arm up and your left arm down. Keeping very little weight in that back arm, really focusing on that side body stretch. Start to reach forward with your right arm towards the front of the room. Take your right palm inside of your right foot, bicep facing forward, and take your left arm around and forward, pinky edge down, making sure your shoulder is plugged in. Bicep by your cheek, twist through your belly, opening your chest up towards the ceiling, trying to take that rib cage over that front thigh. And then you're going to take your top arm behind you, coming into that half bind. And then if you have a full bind, you're going to take your right hand underneath your right thigh. And then come back up to warrior 2. And then slowly shift forward, coming into half moon, stacking your shoulders, elbows, and wrists, stacking your right hip over, your left hip over your right, extending through your back leg, And then try really hard not to pigeon toe your right foot. Getting long on both side bodies. Squaring off your hips, coming into standing splits. Internally rotate that back leg, press your heel up. Left foot meets right, Ukitasana, chair pose. Sink it down low. Squeezing everything together, take your hands to heart center. Plugging into your left foot, take your right. Oops, I'm sorry. Take your hands back up. Right heel comes into your butt, and then extend it out, warrior 3. Hands reach forward, right leg reaches back. And then slowly controlled backs. A slow controlled step back, low lunge. Left hip back, right hip forward. Spike your back heel, pull your heart towards Western. And then come into Crescent Lunge, reaching up. Lifting your arms up, press into your front foot, taking your belly off your front thigh. Take your hands to heart center. Your right elbow is going to go outside of your left thigh, twisting towards the left elbow to thigh, thigh to elbow. Lengthen your heart forward and look over your left shoulder. Keep twisting through that belly, open up your arms, but remember your spine is lengthening forward as you twist through your belly, extending your arms away from one another. And then squeeze the sticky mat, reverse it. Right arm goes high, left arm goes to your thigh. It's the back thigh though. Arms reach up, look up, stretch up. As you take both arms up, coming into Anjaneyasana, Crescent Lunge. You guys look amazing. Hang in there. I know you're getting tired. Shifting forward, warrior 3. Reaching your arms forward, inner thighs squeeze together. Kick the back wall. And then your right hand comes down and your left arm reaches up. Pressing your right fingertips down as you lengthen your spine forward, finding cobra in your chest. Feel your collarbones expand away from one another. Side bodies get long, and that back heel raises up even more. And then come back to standing splits. Hands come to the mat. Right leg lifts high. And then a huge controlled step back, dropping your back heel, windmill it around, warrior 2. Stack shoulders over hips, tucking that right butt cheek towards the front of the room. Left butt cheek wraps around your thigh. Extending through your arms, squeezing the sticky mat with both feet. Keeping your head up on your head. Your head up on your head. I meant raise your head up and take your chin towards your left shoulder. Left arm up, right arm down. Reach up, look up, stretch up, but keep bending into that front knee, keeping that femur bone plugged into your hip socket. And then reach your left arm forward, left palm down. Right arm reaches up and around towards the front of the room. Press your arm into your thigh, thigh into your arm, and open your chest up over that front thigh. And then right hand reaches around your back, coming into that hip crease, or maybe you have a full bind and you're going to take your left arm underneath your left thigh and grab your right hand, pulling your chest up and over. Right arm goes straight back towards the ceiling, and then raise up your chest, warrior 2. Make sure you keep squeezing that sticky mat with both feet, raising that back thigh up, and then shift forward, weight to the left foot, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Stack your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. They all line up. Get long on both side bodies. Make sure that left side body is lengthening just as much as the right. Pulling that left hip out towards the left side of the mat. And then drop your right hip, taking both hands to the ground, coming into standing splits. And then come back to chair. Feet together, toes and ankles touching. I know, we've done 1,000 of these. Get it. Sink it down. Squeeze your thighs together, shins, knees, ankles. Lift up your chest. Drishti is up where the wall and the ceiling meet, and then fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, pelvis drops, point your toes, claw the ground, cobra pose, making sure those shoulders don't drop past your elbows. Lift your heart. Curl your toes, raise your knees, high plank pose. Downward facing dog. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. Big inhale in. Big exhale out. Walking your feet to the middle of your mat, stacking your shoulders over your wrist. Press your shoulders past your wrist as you inhale up on your tiptoes. Bend your knees and hop to the front of your mat. Think butt up, feet forward. Super controlled, slow movements. Nice job, Adam. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Feet together, toes and ankles touching. Sit it down, chair pose. You guys are going to remember me later this week. Squeeze your thighs together, knees, ankles, and shins. Get low, and then shoot it back into Warrior 3. Arms reach forward, back toes spread apart. You got this all day. Big step back, low lunge. Pull your heart forward, lengthening your spine, spike your back heel. And then reach up, Anjaneyasana, Crescent Lunge. So this is when we get tired and our right knee starts to fall towards midline. Keep pulling it out. Take those hands to heart center, left elbow outside our right thigh, twisting through your belly. Opening up your arms, twisting even more. And then you're going to squeeze the sticky mat. Left arm goes high, right arm goes to your back thigh. Looking good, Mariah. Beautiful posture. And then shift it forward, Parvarita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Twisting through your belly, looking up towards that top arm if you can. Your top hand's going to reach around and grab your back foot if that is in your practice. If not, just say fuck it and leave it alone. But twist your chest up towards the ceiling if you can. And then please slowly and controlled release your back foot, not slingshotting it. And then take a big controlled step back, Warrior 2. Sinking those hips down, stacking your shoulders. It's the first day of the challenge and you're getting your ass kicked. Reach it up and back. Right hand inside of right foot, left arm reaches up. Half bind or full bind if you need it. Chest over front thigh. Keep pulling that chest forward and up. And then release it coming into Warrior 2. And then come into that half moon pose, stacking your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. You got this all day. Bo, I see your bald head. It's right there. Your top hand's going to reach around and grab your back foot, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. Press your foot into your hands. Try really hard not to lock out that standing leg. And then release your back foot. Hands come down, coming into standing split, squaring up your hips, press your heel up. Left foot meets right, Ukitasana, chair pose. I think it might be the last, but I'm not for sure. Last round, second set. Right heel goes up. And then kick it back as you reach forward, Warrior 3. Back thigh presses up more. Huge step back, low lunge. Left hip back, right hip forward. Keep your hips low. And then inhale, arms up, reach up, stretch up, crescent lunge. Don't forget to breathe. Create some space between your teeth, relaxing your jaw. And then take your hands to heart center, right elbow, left thigh twist. Elbow to thigh, thigh to elbow, lengthening your spine forward, twisting and opening your arms even more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then squeeze the sticky mat, reverse it. Right arm high, left arm to your back thigh. Reach up, stretch up, look up. And then you're going to shift into that revolved half moon, Parvrita Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand down, left hand up. Pull your heart towards the front of the room. Squeeze the sticky mat with your foot and raise your right heel up even higher. Your top hand's going to grab your back foot, twisting to the left. Nice job, Daniel. You got this. Slow, controlled release of the back foot. Big step back, windmill it around, warrior two. Shoulder stack over hips, sinking your hips down, stacking your left knee over your heel. Right thigh presses up, finding the inner arch of your back foot, and then left arm up, right arm down. Reach up, look up, stretch up. This is it. Last round. Left palm comes inside of left foot, palm presses down, shoulder rolls forward, and then your top arm is going to reach up and then reach behind you coming into that bind. Maybe your left arm reaches underneath and you get the full bind. Chest goes over your front thigh as your hips press forward. Keep sinking those hips down. And then open it up, warrior two, releasing that bind. Shoulders stack over hips, engaging your arms. And then you're going to shift towards the front of the room, coming into half moon. Shoulders stack, hips stack, opening up that chest. Push your left fingertips down as you get long on that left side. Really plug into that left leg and try and keep it forward instead of towards midline. And then top arm's going to grab your back foot. If you can't grab inside, then grab the outer edge of that back foot. As you kick your foot into your hands and your hand into your foot, you're going to open up and twist towards the ceiling. Super slow, controlled release, half moon. And then both hands come down, standing splits. Drop your head. Heel goes up high. And then back to chair. I lied earlier. We got one more. Because apparently I'm evil. Sink it down low. Inhale, flat back. Pull your heart forward. Plant your palms, shoot it back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Pelvis drops, point your toes, claw the ground, cobra. And then you're going to lower down onto your bellies for belly down back bends. Excuse me. Shalabhasana, squeezing your legs together, knees together, ankles together, interlacing your hands behind your back, bending your elbows up towards the ceiling so that your palms press together. And then as you press down, you're going to lift up, heart lengthens forward, and then your chest lifts up. Raising your hands off your glutes as you reach towards the back of the room, and then raising your legs up, thighs together, shins together, spread your back toes, and then release. Interlacing your hands behind your head, press your palms into your head into your hands, elbows pressed down, hollowing out your armpits, squeeze your legs together, lift your legs up, chest up, Makarasana, crocodile. These are low back muscles. It's really fucking awful. Press down, lift up. You got this. And then all the way back down. Take your hands beside you, shoulders lift, elbow height, curl toes, raise knees, high plank pose. Hips. Pressing up, plank pose. Hips go high, dog pose. Big inhale in, big exhale out. Right leg's going to go straight back behind you. Heel presses up. And then your right knee is going to come to your left elbow, and then you're going to extend it out and come all the way down to the outer edge of that right leg, coming into fallen sage pose. Your left hip's going to pull forward. You want to line your right heel up with your right hip and pull it towards the right side of the room as you lengthen towards the front of the room. The good news is we're coming to the end of class. We're starting to get down to the mat. Let everything go. Getting that big stretch along the outside of that right leg. All I see are eyeballs. Walking your hands back underneath your shoulders, press your hips up high and take your left arm up to the sky. Good. Open up that heart space towards the ceiling. Left hand comes down. Right leg goes back behind you. Kick your heel up. And then you're going to stack your right hip over your left and yawn your hip open to the left side of the room. My bad. Getting a big stretch, dropping your right shoulder, and then maybe flip your dog if that is in your practice, dropping that right foot over to the left, taking your right arm forward. Looking good, you guys. And then pigeon on the right side, right knee behind your right wrist, right heel under your left hip. Make sure your hips stay square to the front of your sticky mat. And then curl your back toes under, raising your left leg, internally rotating that back leg so that left hip comes forward. And then extending your arms out in front of you, forehead to the mat. Really starting to slow down the pace. Being super proud of all the hard work you've done. The longer we're in this posture, the harder it gets to not fidget. You guys are doing a really good job. Just breathe into those hips. A few more breaths here. And then start to walk your hands back beside you. So I want you to make sure that your shoulders are over your hips and your left hand's going to grab inside your left foot. Left hip keeps pulling forward and you're working your left foot towards your left elbow creased. You're going to squeeze the sticky mat with your front shin and your back knee, and your right hand might reach around and grab your left if you've hooked that elbow crease if you've hooked your foot with your elbow crease. You guys know what I'm trying to say. And then release. Stepping back plank. Hips high, dog pose. Left leg goes high. Left knee, right tricep, extending it out towards the right, coming into fallen sage on the left side. Pulling that right hip forward, extending that left leg out as you pull your left hip towards the left side of the room. It's a big IT stretch. Walking your hands back underneath your shoulders, press your palms down, lift your hips up, taking your right arm up towards the sky. Finding that nice, pretty back bend, heart opener, reaching up and back. Right hand comes down, left leg going to extend behind you. And then stacking your hips, yawning it open to the right. Getting that big stretch. And then if you flipped your dog on the other side, do so on this side. Hips go high. Top arm reaches towards the Western Avenue. And then we're going pigeon on the left side. Wonderful job, Daniel. One-legged king pigeon. Left knee behind your left wrist, left heel under your right hip. Internally rotate your right leg so that your hips are square to the front. I don't care about your shin being parallel to the front edge of your mat. Just take your heart forward, extending your arms long and sinking into the mat. Starting to walk your hands back towards your hips. Take your right hand, grab inside your right foot. Keep pulling that right hip around, stacking your shoulders. Squeeze the sticky mat with your front shin and back knee, trying to work that right foot towards your elbow crease, and then left hand might reach around and grab your right hand if you've hooked it. Releasing your back foot, roll to the outside of your left hip, bring both feet around, coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Pull your flesh out from underneath your sit bones, stack your shoulders, heels press forward, toes pull back, and start to walk your hands forward, coming into Utanasana, forward fold. It doesn't matter if you grab your feet, it's more about your legs pushing forward, toes pulling back, and your thigh bones down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And then you're going to slowly start to roll onto your backs, pulling your knees into your chest. Keeping your left knee bent, take your left foot to the mat. Extend your right leg straight up towards the ceiling, interlacing your hands behind your hamstring or your calf. Heel presses up, toes pull back, engaging your quad, stretching through your hamstrings. Keeping your left hip down, extend your right leg to the right side of the room, pulling your right hip towards midline, plugging your femur bone into your hip socket. There's an external rotation of that leg so that you can take it over to the right safely. And then back up to center. Your left hand's going to grab outside of your right shin or foot as you roll to the left side of the room. And then you're going to keep bending your left knee and grab your left foot with your right hand, twisting through your belly. I want you to feel your twist as you hinge your right hip forward and look towards the right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. You're going to press your left foot into your right hand and open up your chest towards the right side of the room even more. And then release, coming back onto your backs. Cross your right foot over your left thigh, coming into figure four. Reaching through your thighs, grab either side of your left leg, dorsiflexing both feet. Open up your right knee to the right side of the mat. Coming into figure 4. Your left foot comes to the mat. Hands come out like goalposts and drop both knees to the right. Pressing your right foot down into your left thigh, pulling your knee forward, looking towards the left side of the room. Feeling that nice stretch on the front of that left hip. Getting super close to being done. Bringing both knees back into your chest. Uncrossing your feet. Pull your knees towards you. Taking your right foot to the mat this time, extending your left leg up towards the ceiling. Interlacing your hands behind your hamstring or your calf. Feel the lengthening of your heel past Feel the lengthening of your heel past the balls of your toes. And then externally rotate that left leg towards the left as you take it over to the left side of the room. Pull your left glute towards midline as you plug the femur bone into your hip socket. We don't want a rip or a tear, so guide that leg. Left leg comes back up. Right hand's going to grab outside of left shin or foot as you roll to the right, coming to the outside of your right leg. And then your left hand is going to reach around and grab your right foot this time. Pushing your left heel away from you, you're going to push your right foot into your left hand as you twist through your belly and look over your left shoulder. And then maybe take that left hip forward towards Western Avenue, deepening your stretch and spine twist even deeper. Looks good, you guys. You're going to release your back foot, rolling onto your backs, crossing your left foot over your right thigh, coming into figure 4. Grabbing either side of your right thigh, dorsiflexing both feet as you push that left knee towards the front of the room. Take your right foot back to the mat. Hands come out like goalposts again, dropping your knees to the left. Look to the right. Using that top foot to pull your right thigh down and forward. Just getting a deeper stretch. Taking both knees back up, uncrossing your feet, pulling your knees into your chest, giving yourself a good hug. Using the next few breaths to finish out your practice with whatever posture you need before you make yourself. Taking the next 5 to 10 breaths to finish up class with whatever posture you need. Or maybe it's just that you go straight to Shavasana. But take your time and slowly start to come to your mat when you're finished. And as you get to your backs, extend your arms out beside you, palms facing up. Taking up as much real estate as you need to completely relax and let everything go. If your thoughts creep back in, just remember you can release them and let them go with a breath. With each inhale, breathing in all the good. With each exhale, releasing anything negative that you might still be holding on to. Strong, big inhale in. Super strong exhale out. Knowing that this is the most important posture in your practice. It gives you the time that you need internally and externally to feel the changes that you've done on realigning your body, mind, and spirit. Big, strong inhale in. Big, strong exhale out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, becoming aware of the ground below you. Inhaling your arms up overhead, big full body stretch here. Interlacing your fingers, palms to the wall behind you. Exhale your knees into your chest, reaching around, grabbing opposite elbows. And then you're slowly going to start to roll to the right, extending your right arm out beside you. Take your right ear to your right arm, keeping your heart high. Pull your knees closer to you, taking your left palm down. Press down, stacking your spine up over your hips. Coming into a seated position facing forward. Keeping eyes closed and your body and mind completely relaxed. Feel the new space you've created. Arms up, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hands, palms together at heart center. We're going to end class with a single breath followed by an Om. Big, deep belly breath in. Strong exhale out. Inhale to Om. Om. Taking the vibration with you, letting it penetrate out beyond these four walls. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. We have more to come. The next one is February 20th. We can't wait to see you. Peace out.